Tayo nang magbigay pugay sa ating kinang tagumpay.
Nagsimula sa mumunting hangarin ng ating pangarap. Lumago ng di nalalaman ang babatahing hirap. Ngunit ngayon tayo'y nandito upang tanawin ang nakaraan. Malayo na pala, ngunit ating babalikan upang magpugay sa ating nakaraang sarili sa lahat ng pinagdaanan, ngiti at pagkasawi. Pasasalamat sa pananatiling matatag at mapagkandilig. Dahil dito, nandito sama-samang nagwagi. Tayo lang magbigay pugay sa ating kinang tagumpay. Pagpupugay sa karanasang ating napagdaanan. Sa luha, dugo at pawis, sa tuwa, tawa at galit, sa yakap man o maging sa pag-ibig. Pagpupugay sa tagumpay na ating nakamit.
Pagpupugay sa ating nakaraang sarili sa kanyang hindi pagsuko at pagdamong muli. Pasasalamat sa di pagbitaw sa hamon ng langit. Dahil dito, pagpupugay ating samlit.
Ating samlit. Tayo lang magbigay pugay sa ating hinang tagumpay. Pagpupugay sa mga alaalang nalikas. Sa mga pyesang itinanghal at mga kwentong pinag-usapan sa harap at likod ng tahanan. Pagpupugay sa mga alaalang di malilimutan.
Tayo lang magbigay pugay sa ating kinang tagumpay. Pagpupugay sa karanasang ating
Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Mahal namin mga estudyante ang magsisipagtapos, sumapit na ang araw na pinakahihintay ninyo at ng inyong mga mahal sa buhay. Hindi man ganito ang inaasahan nating kahihinatnan, matagumpay pa rin kayong nakarating sa puntong ito. Tagumpay na kailangang ipagbunyi sa kabila ng lahat. Ang bilis ng panahon. Parang kahapon lang abot-abot ang kaba ninyo sa paghahanap ng inyong mga pangalan sa listahan ng mga nakapasa sa kolehiyo. Parang kahapon lang nang una kayong pumasok sa silid na ito at nakilala ang inyong mga kaeskwela at mga guro. Mga taong natutunan nyo ng ituring na kapamilya. At unti-unti kayong naging bahagi ng pamayanan ng mga scholar at musiko ng bayan. Parang kahapon lang, ang bilis ng panahon. Pero parang ang tagal-tagal na rin sa dami ng inyong pinagdaanan sa loob ng mga gusaling ito. Mga gusaling nagsilbing tahanan. Kasama na dyan ang saya at lungkot, ang mga agam-agam, ang pagmumulat ng isip, ang pag-iyak at paghalakhak. At higit sa lahat ang musika. Ang maluwalhati at dalisay na musikang sumaliw sa buong panahong pinamalagi nyo dito. Ngunit anupat nang malapit nyo nang marating ang dulo ng inyong paglalakbay sa kolehiyo. At halos naaaninag nyo na ang araw na ito, ang mga mirasol sa University Avenue, ang sablay sa inyong balikat. Walang ano-ano'y biglang nabalot ng kadiliman ang ating mundo. Dumating ang pandemya at nabulabog ang ating nakagawiang buhay. Nagdulot ito ng matinding takot dahil sa karamdaman at kamatayan, kung hindi man lubos na paghihirap at gutom sa nakararami. At sa halip malinaw na direksyon at kalinga, pagsupil, dahas at pananakot ang piniling solusyon ng ating liderato. At sa patuloy na paghahasik ng lagim ng pandemya at ng mga gahaman, lumusong tayo sa pinakamadilim na panahon ng ating kasaysayan. Sa ganitong pagkakataon, di nakapagtatakang maisang tabi muna ang ating mga pangarap sa kolehiyo dahil nga sa bigat ng pagsubok na hinaharap. Ngunit di kayo naantig, mga scholar at musiko ng bayan. Marami sa inyo ang nagkusang loob na tumulong sa anumang paraang posible. Ginamit ninyo ang inyong mga tunog at tinig upang maghatid ng inspirasyon at makalikom ng pondong pantulong sa mga hikahos. Naging sandatan nyo ang inyong kritikal na panunuri upang tumulugsa at ituwid ang mga pagkakamali. Kasama kayong patuloy na nagbabantay sa dignidad, karapatan at kalayaan nating patuloy na pinagbabantaan. At sa tulong ng inyong mga magulang, guro at ng pamantasan, nakarating kayo sa araw na ito. Ito na ang dulo ng paglalakbay. Nagliliwanag na ang umaga. Handa na ba kayong salubungin ang bukas? Umaasa ang bayan.
Pinili ko ang musika sa pag-aakalang magaling ako at na mag-enjoy ako dito. Ngunit patuloy ko itong pinili at pipiliin sa kabila ng lahat ng pagpapahiya at pagpapamukha sa akin na hindi ako magaling. Dahil naranasan ko sa kolehiyo ang pagpapalaki. Diba sabi, it takes a village to raise a child. At ganun ang naranasan ko sa kolehiyo na ilang beses man akong nagkamali, ilang beses man ako sumablay, hindi ako iniwanan ng aking kolehiyo. Tinulungan ako ng aking kolehiyo, ng aking komunidad na patuloy na lumaban, na araw-araw mag-improve pa rin. At ganun ang pangarap ko sa aking mga estudyante in the future. Na sa aking pagtuturo ng musika, matutunan nila na hindi mag-give up sa mga ginagawa nila, na patuloy lang lumaban. Ako si Matthew Joseph Austria Yango, UP College of Music, Class of 2020, BM Music Education 2014-89029, sa Salubungin ng Bukas bilang scholar at musiko ng bayan.
Dekano Dr. Laverne C. de la Peña, Katuwang na Dekano Dr. Jonas Baez, mga kasamahan sa lupon ehekutibo ng Kolehiyo ng Musika, kapwa guro, staff, mag-aaral, magulang at mga magsisipagtapos sa Kolehiyo ng Musika klaseng 2020. Kinagagalak kong ipakilala sa inyo ang ating panauhing bandangal ngayong araw na ito. Ang wakas ay simula. Mabait, mapagmalasakit na guro at akademiko, makataong administrador, mapag-arugang anak at magulang, maalaga sa hayop at kalikasan. Bilang estudyante ni Dr. Michael Lim Tan sa antropolohiya, ito ang aking naging karanasan sa loob at labas ng kanyang klase. Kilala natin siya bilang kolumnista ng Pinoy Kasi sa Philippine Daily Inquirer at dating chancellor ng UP Diliman. Sa kanyang termino, naitawid niya ang mga hamon sa universidad ng may husay at hinahon, katulad ng pabalangkas ng GE, pagkupkup sa mga batang lumad, at paglaban sa militarisasyon. Sa kasalukuyan, bilang Professor Emeritus sa UP Diliman at UP Manila at akademiko ng Pambansang Akademya ng Agham at Teknolohiya ng Pilipinas, katulong natin siya sa kinahaharap na pandemyang COVID-19. Ngunit sino nga ba si Dr. Michael Tan at ano ang kanyang pinaguhugutan? Bilang aktivistang mag-aaral na bagong graduate noon, una niyang natutunan ang tunay na pakikibaka sa programa ng Simbahang Katolikong Social Action sa Mindanao at Luzon kasama ang Rehiyong Cordillera. Nagtapos ng Veterinary Medicine sa UP, Masters at PhD ng Antropolohiya sa Amerika at Netherlands. Naging bahagi siya ng programang pangkalusugan sa komunidad. Sa kanyang mga pagtuturo health training sa mga kababayan natin sa nayon, nakita niya sa kanilang pakikinig at paggawa sa mga natutunan, mas mahusay pa sila sa mga mediko na nakapag-aral. Sabi nga niya, parang weed daw sa musika. Bilang medical anthropologist, kanyang inilimbag ang katutubong pag-iisip sa kalusugan. Bilang social at linguistic anthropologist naman, malaking ambag niya ang pagtingin sa gender at sexualidad sa Asia ayon sa iba't ibang larangan kasama ang digital media. Ang mga proyektong pinangunahan niya sa UNICEF, Ford at Rockefeller Foundation at iba pa ay nagbunga hindi lamang ng 14 na aklat at napakaraming journal articles, kundi mga kurso at programang nagpalabong sa Kolehiyo ng Medisina at Agham sa UP at mga katuwang na institusyon sa Asia, Estados Unidos at Europa. Bilang bahagi ng pamunuan ng Philippine Educational Theater Association o PETA at programang pangteatro sa Timog Silangang Asya, naibahagi niya ang kanyang pananaliksik sa gender at sexualidad. Sa kanyang pakikibaka, naging mahalaga ang musika ng protesta, lalo na sa Visayas kung saan ayon sa kanya, araw-araw walang tigil ang pag-awit sa saliw ng gitara. Popular at klasikal na musika ay kapwa niya tinatangkilik. Nang siya ay tanghalin na chancellor ng UP Diliman, maraming programa at pagtatanghal natin sa loob at labas ng bansa ang kanyang sinuportahan. Ang kanyang suporta ay hindi lamang sa pinansyal, kundi sa patuloy na panunood sa ating mga konsyerto. Madalas kasama niya ang kanyang pamilyang manood. Sa kanyang pagpapalaki sa mga anak, ang musika sa kanilang edukasyon ay pinapalago niya katuwang ang ating programang ekstensyon. Ang wakas ay simula ng bukas. Mabait, mapagmalasakit, makatao, mapag-aruga, maalaga, higit sa lahat, makamusiko at malapit sa ating puso. Mga kaibigan, si Dr. Michael Lim Tan.
Dekano Dr. Laverne C. de la Peña, katuwang na Dekano Dr. Jonas Baez, mga kasamahan sa College Executive Board, mga kapwa-guro, mga wahid, mga mag-aaral, mga magulang, mga lolo't lola, at ang bida ng araw, mga magsisipagtapos ng kolehiyo ng musika, klaseng 2020. Isang madistansya, ngunit maalam na pagbati sa inyong lahat. It has been more than 4 months since we went into a lockdown because of the COVID-19 pandemic. If there's been anything that unites us in our experiences of this pandemic, it has been that of loneliness. One that was forced upon us because of a virus that was so contagious, debilitating, and deadly. Suddenly, we were asked to practice social distancing, an unfortunate choice of terms that the World Health Organization has since discouraged. Dapat daw, physical distancing. Pero ang ginagawa ng mga gobyerno kasama ng Pilipinas ay social distancing pa rin. The collective experiences have been troubling, especially in the Philippines, with what is now the world's longest lockdown. One which has been particularly severe on the poor, who were the most vulnerable to start with because of the congested living conditions, and they're being the first ones to lose their jobs and sources of livelihood. Rather than helping them, we worsened conditions by locking them into their homes, many arrested just for sitting in front of their homes. We saw how tanks and armed police have been sent in to enforce the unjust and unscientific lockdowns. Every day I look at the reports of infections and see the numbers rising quickly, including here in Quezon City, mainly in our slum areas, where the virus thrives, staying suspended longer in enclosed spaces with poor air circulation and with more potential victims, because the poor often have other illnesses like hypertension, diabetes, and respiratory ailments. The virus also separated families and friends with forced quarantine and isolation of people suspected of being infected or who have been confirmed to be infected, taken to hospitals. Awi Severino, Channel 7, describes what he went through, particularly the loneliness, in a moving documentary, Ako Si Pasyente 2828, and reminds us that many frontliners also isolated themselves voluntarily from their loved ones, not going home because they did not want to risk infecting their families. All of us suffered, some in more severe ways than others. I have been separated from my children who live in Laguna, and we cannot visit each other. But I was even more shocked last month to learn from a friend, a UP Los Baños faculty member, that she has not been able to visit her grandchildren in the subdivision only a few kilometers from her home, because the subdivision would not allow her in because she had not lived in the community during the lockdown. Distancing has been very difficult because humans evolved to be socially together. Physically, we seek not just the company of others, but actual physical contact, skin to skin, body to body. We do this from birth to death. The physical need only part of the larger emotional need. We do this in the best of times, in exuberant joy, but social contact is even more important in troubled times as we seek comfort and solace. Cultures vary in the ways we bond. The Philippines belongs to cultures that encourage greater contact and bonding, using all our 5 senses to bond. This meant that the last few months have been even more difficult for us as Filipinos, families and friends divided by the many diaspora driven by economics, the thousands of stranded construction workers in cities, the migrants in our household, the millions of Filipinos working overseas, unable to come home even when relatives were severely ill, dying, or who passed on. And yet, despite all the odds stacked against us, we found ways to keep our ties burning, sometimes even more passionately across distances. And this was where I constantly thought of the College of Music, faculty, students, and staff. Because you, among all the professions, are probably the ones who crave the most for physical and emotional closeness. Even more importantly, you are the masters of the ability to break down barriers, borders, and boundaries through music. We saw that during the lockdown and the internet, the explosion of postings of musical performances from TikTok to YouTube to grand replays of major musical productions. We saw early in the epidemic when the embattled Italians launched nightly concerts from their balconies of song and even dance to serenade neighbors and to pay tribute to frontliners. We Filipinos were not to be outdone. We stitched together our video concerts, UP Cherubim and Seraphim, Madrigal Singers, UP Singing Ambassadors, and many other groups, including those of the College of Music. Even in international presentations, Filipinos were to be found. On Swans for Relief, featuring 32 ballet dancers from 14 countries, I counted at least 3 Filipinas. Even before the lockdown, when I was first invited to deliver the inspirational message for the college, I said yes immediately, thinking of stressing the art of accompaniment, an exhortation from the Catholic Church's Evangelium Gaudium. I read the passage here. The Church must initiate everyone into this art of accompaniment, which teaches us to remove our sandals before the sacred ground of the other. It is an exhortation that reminds us of our showing up at a friend's place, pagsusundo, and speaks of inclusivity, equality, and mutual respect, as we do when we remove our shoes before entering the house. Accompaniment resonates for us as Filipinos because we are a culture of accompaniment, captured so well in the way we build ties with the suffix ka. We are kasama, kapatid, kapanalig, kaibigan, kasintahan, and many more ka. We do things together, finding strength in each other, sometimes to a fault, as we create codependent relationships. As Chancellor, I try to encourage more of cooperation and collaboration, and of accompaniment. We have moved away from notions of great men and great women as individuals, knowing that the most important milestones of humanity in the arts, in science and technology are results of people accompanying each other in long journeys of discovery. In the College of Music, I did not have to push because music is always accompaniment, from duets to full symphonic bands. I would even argue there is no real solo performance because the soloist carries the accompaniment in his or her head. And for certain instruments like the piano, the left hand provides the accompaniment to the right hand's rendition of the melody. Watching your performances, I marvel at the camaraderie one has for the other, the ability to blend with each other, even as you are able to catch the split-second lapses and to make up quickly for them. Beyond the sheet music, you have mastered the art of signaling each other with your body, the quick glance, the raised eyebrow, the smile. In the Philippines, a crossroads of cultures, we are particularly fortunate to have been exposed to many different musical traditions and genres that allow an expanded repertoire of accompaniment. I've always been fascinated watching Kulintang ensembles, the gongs each having their own tones, and so that each performance, people have to calibrate to each other with the sheet music, emphasizing rhythms as melodies. Much more so than in many other cultures, we Filipinos can be quite ad hoc about music and accompaniment. In Zamboanga, Sibugay, there's a river called Kabasalan, derived from basal, ang pagtugtog ng agong. It is a reminder of how we will sing, play our musical instruments and dance in all kinds of environments, pati nga sa tabi ng ilog, integrating music into all of our social interactions. It is not surprising too that many of our traditional rituals for the passages of life, from birth to death, include music. I was so looking forward to attending your college recognition rites with music, but we will have to pass that this year. But let's make it our project to convince other colleges to banish pomp and circumstance and use more meaningful musical accompaniment next year. Pagtugtog, more than performance, it is an open invitation to congregate. Everyone accompanies with zest and life, so that long after the rendition, what we hear and see stay in our heads for a long time, lingering to replay, to regenerate the warmth of human companionship, inspiring and elevating. Music kept me going through the many tough times of being a chancellor. I attended many of your recitals and concerts because they were good times to be alone in many ways, yet accompanied. There were times too when you spearheaded the grand performances like our first Quarter Storm commemoration in January, when your music brought hundreds of people together, united in spirit to accompany each other in remembering the noble past. Then too, there were highly personal moments that involved, for me, just walking through the college's corridors to listen to people taking lessons or rehearsing. They were important moments too, especially because I was taking care of both my parents, my mother for 8 years and my father for 2 years as they battled dementia and the many chronic diseases of the elderly. Your music strengthened me as I visited them, especially in the hospital. In my mother's final moments, amidst the electronic sounds of the intensive care machines, your music had taught me to catch the rhythms of life, to catch the rhythms of my mother's life. And I could reassure her, I am here, Mom, I am here. Nandito ako. Napakahalaga yan to be able to have accompanied her in this last part of a long journey. Accompaniments is of course more than performance. Great musicians are cultivated, accompanied by, and this is a time to thank our parents and lolos and lolas and titos and titas who patiently accompanied us, sometimes as musicians themselves, more often simply as the significant others to encourage us. We thank to those who chose to teach and to mentor as your teachers did, ever patient accompaniments, and we can forgive each other for the times when we did run out of patience, quickly making up the next time around. Transform your skills in musical accompaniment into skills for parenting, for caring for parents, for mentoring, for being good citizens, for fighting for justice, for leadership. And I will explain that further in our general commencement exercise. Nauna kayo sa art of accompaniment. More importantly, tap your accompany skills to become mabuting tao, the person who is caring, compassionate, patient, and good. It means to being courageous, ready to face up to the challenges of our times, to say, oras na, bago na. I want you then to remember this long summer of 2020 as one where you learned in many different ways, often in loneliness, the art of accompaniment. No longer just andito ako, but andito tayo, one for the other. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat.
Bakit ko pinili ang music bilang kurso? I have always wanted to prove that music is my ikigai, a Japanese concept na union ng passion, mission, profesyon, tsaka bukasyon mo. Alam ko na musika ang gagawin ko panghabang buhay, kinlame ko na, kaya ginusto ko siyang pag-aralan sa akademiya. So, my experience in the college in one word, Crayola, makulay. May maliwanag, may madilim, may masakit, may payapa, may ups, may downs. Iba-iba yung naranasan ko sa kolehiyo, kaya ayun, Crayola. Pagkatapos nito, ang balak ko is Masters Abroad, inspired by my professors na nagsabi sa akin na at naniwalang I will soar high and I should soar high. Ako si Ella Victoria OVP Castro, UP College of Music, Class of 2020, Bachelor of Music and Music Education, sa Salubungin ng Bukas bilang iskolar at musiko ng bayan.
Di man lang tayo nabigyan ng pagkakataong lumuha ng sabay-sabay, habang may sablay na nakasampay, tila nakalugay pa mula sa ating balikat. Namumulikat na sa haba ng ensayo, inabutan ng pagsikat ng araw o balang araw. Sasalubungin ang bukas na di na mananakaw.
Lahat ng ating paghihirap, pag-ensayo, pagpapagod, padududa sa sarili, sa bulwagan, mga kwartong maliit na tila may naiwan kang mga awiting galing sa huling gumamit at nagalit at napagod at napatanong kung tama pa ba? Tama pa ba ang ginagawa? At namumuna na tayo'y nuruang maging matapang at inisip.
Hingang malalim na tayo ang dalawa. Oras na musiko at musika. Hamon na. Oras na kaibigan para lumikha ng himig para sa minamahal na bayang pinagpala, pinanimala, paulit-ulit para nasisirang plaka.
Tayo ang pag-asang hinahanap at inaasam ng ating mga kababayan. Nadarama, nakadama, nakapiling pa ang mga mata. Tayo'y tinuruan maging matapang at mahilig. Sa ating mga hilig ay lumaban at inisip. Hingang malalim na tayo ang dalawa. Oras na musiko at musika. Bangon na. Bangon na.
Mahal naming dekano, ikinararangal ko pong ipakilala sa inyo ang dalawang magsisipagtapos mula sa programang Associate in Arts of Music. Ako po ay nagagalak na ipaalam sa inyo na sila po ang kauna-unahang batch na magsisipagtapos sa programang ito. Minsan sa aking pananaliksik, nabasa ko po ito at nais ko pong ibahagi sa inyong lahat, lalong-lalo na sa ating mga magtatapos sa taong ito. Be bold, be courageous, and be your best. If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. Maraming salamat po.
Jonathan Camacho Anashoco, Associate in Arts. Frances Asunta Lopez Reyes, Associate in Arts.
Mahal na dekano, mula sa Departamento ng Komposisyon at Teorya, ang departamentong pinagmulan at pinagtapusan ni Nicanor Abelardo, Francisco Santiago at 7 national artists lang naman, ikinararangal kong ipakilala sa inyo ang 6 na mga magsisipagtapos ngayon sa programang DCPMA at Bachelor of Music kasamang 1 cum laude at 1 summa cum laude.
As of first semester 2019-2020, Gabriel Ann Diaz Robeñol, BM Composition. As of second semester 2019-2020, Ryle Nicole Quillosa Custodio, DCPMA Composition. Keith Clark Tikman Dilieva, DCPMA Composition. Stephen Amosco Tan, DCPMA Composition. Graduating with honors as of first semester 2019-2020, Christian Joshua Padre Ansale, BM Composition, cum laude. As of second semester 2019-2020, Jose Antonio Centenera Buencamino, BM Composition, summa cum laude.
Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Mahal naming dekano, Dr. Laverne de la Peña, ikinararangal kong ipakilala sa inyo ang mga magsisipagtapos mula sa Departamento ng Pagkumpas na binubuo ng mga mag-aaral mula sa programang Diploma in Creative Performing Musical Arts at Bachelor of Music in Choral Conducting and Band Conducting para sa akademikong taong 2019-2020. Maraming salamat po.
As of first semester 2019-2020, Kelbert Mequino Sinfuego, DCPNA Choral Conducting. Precious Grace Nakulanga Tondo, BM Choral Conducting. As of second semester 2019-2020, Patrick James de la Cruz Aguilar, BM Band Conducting. Graduating with honors, as of second semester 2019-2020, Kevin Mikhail Hernandez Gomez, BM Choral Conducting, cum laude.
Mahal naming dekano, ikinararangal kong itanghal sa inyo ang mga nagsisipagtapos mula sa Departamento ng Edukasyong Pangmusika na binubuo ng 14 mula sa programang DCPNA o Diploma in Creative and Performing Musical Arts, BM, Bachelor of Music, at MM, Master of Music in Music Education. Kasama dito ang 2 cum laude at 2 magna cum laude. Lubos kong ipinagmamalaki ang bawat isa sa matagumpay na pagkamit ng karangalang ito na hindi matatamo kung walang pag-agapay ng mga pamilya, ng mga magulang, mga kapwa mag-aaral at mga guro. Kasabay sa lubos na galak na pagbati at suporta sa inyo ay ang aking panalangin, lalong-lalo na sa panahon ngayon na hindi lamang kayo maging dalubhasa sa pagturo ng musika, kundi mas mahalaga magbigay ng pag-asa sa mas nakararami.
As of mid-year 2019-2020, Armida Faye Del Rosario Basu, BM Music Education. As of second semester 2019-2020, Azenith Perdon de la Mata, DCPNA Music Education. Sarah Grace Roque Julian, DCPNA Music Education. Vincent Paul Matias Pasco, DCPNA Music Education. Paul Jason Eduarte Santiago, DCPNA Music Education. Marial Igual Tumanda, DCPNA Music Education. Ella Victoria Aubrey Tiniana Castro, BM Music Education. Denise Abigail Felizardo Nadal, DCPNA Music Education, Mid-Year 2019 and BM Music Education, Second Semester 2019-2020. Graduating with honors, Andre Lawrence Bitun Feria, BM Music Education, cum laude. As of second semester 2019-2020, Matthew Joseph Austria Yanko, BM Music Education, cum laude. Daniel Ray Collantes Eramis, BM Music Education, magna cum laude. Lancel Caris Lindo Nantes, BM Music Education, magna cum laude.
Mahal naming dekano, isang tunay na karangalan ang maipakilala sa inyo ang aming magsisipagtapos mula sa Departamento ng Musicology o Musicology. 6 ang kabuuang magsisipagtapos. 5 mula sa programang DCPMA or Diploma in Creative and Performing Musical Arts at 1 mula sa programang Bachelor of Music in Musicology. Isang malugod na pagbati sa inyong lahat. On behalf of the faculty of the Department of Musicology, I'd like to express my great pride and joy
at seeing you off on your graduation day, which we will always remember as being extra special, taking place in these extraordinary times. The UP College of Music has been your beloved home for a number of years, and as you finally move on to find your niche in the universe in this next stage of your lives, always remember to keep the faith. Buo ang aking loob na bilang mga scholar ng bayan, inyong sasalubungin ang makabagong bukas na patuloy na itinataguyod ang pagtanghal, ang diskurso at pananaliksik sa Asian at Philippine music. At huwag kakalimutang baunin ang walang kupas na katatagan, pagmamahal sa kapwa at pagsilbi sa bayan. Muli, congratulations sa inyong lahat.
As of first semester 2019-2020, Janae Dorcas Lagunilla Dornito, DCPMA Asian Music. As of second semester 2019-2020, Ricardo Miguel Barba, DCPMA Asian Music. Joshua Timothy Del Coro Gramaje, DCPMA Asian Music. Angela Vibat Montano, DCPMA Asian Music.
John Steven Encarnacion Verosa, DCPMA Asian Music.
James Dan Cabilao Gazmin, BM Musicology.
Mahal naming dekano, ikinararangal kong ipakilala sa inyo ang mga nagsisipagtapos mula sa Departamento ng Keyboard na binubuo ng 3 sa programang Diploma in Creative and Performing Musical Arts at 6 sa programang Bachelor of Music, kasama ang 1 summa cum laude, 2 magna cum laude, at 3 cum laude. Ipinagdiriwang ng buong kaguruan ng Keyboard Department ang matagumpay na pagtatapos ng mga bagong pianista ng ating bayan. Humayo kayong dala ang karunungan, giting at tapang. Naway biyayaan kayo ng liwanag, proteksyon, kapayapaan at pagmamahal ng buong may kapal.
As of first semester 2019-2020, Alexis Faye Bermas Pal, BM Piano. As of second semester 2019-2020, Joshua Luke Louis Seat Buenaventura, DCPMA Piano. Justin Joseph Banaag de Leon, DCPMA Piano. Graduating with honors, as of first semester 2019-2020, Jose Juan Francisco Ragrajo Valenciano, BM Piano, magna cum laude. As of second semester 2019-2020, Luke Tristan Fernandez Nunez, BM Piano, cum laude. Mark Anthony Estrada Abejero, DCPMA Piano, mid-year 2019, and BM Piano, second semester 2019-2020, cum laude. Stephen Lopez Rodriguez, BM Piano, magna cum laude. Paulo Miguel Tobias Tablante, BM Piano, summa cum laude.
Mahal naming dekano, ikinararangal ko pong ipakilala sa inyo ang mga nagsisipagtapos mula sa Departamento ng Strings at Chamber Music na binubuo ng 15 mag-aaral sa programang CM, DCPMA at BM. Kasama rito ang 1 magna cum laude at 2 cum laude. Umasa po kayo na mananatiling bukas ang pintuan ng aming departamento para sa aming mga nagsisipagtapos na mag-aaral. at patuloy na magiging gabay at katuwang nila sa pagsalubong sa bagong bukas.
As of mid-year 2019, Jaire Lim de Ramos Oracion, BM Instruments, Strings. As of first semester 2019-2020, Jun Yong Cho, DCPMA Instruments, Strings. As of second semester 2019-2020, Nathaniel John Servado Edades, CM Strings. Romilly Cruz Grabador, CM Strings. Lovely Kalayag Masakwel, CM Strings. Chini Rose Bag-ib Amuig, DCPMA Instruments, Strings. Miguel Adrian de Silva de los Santos, DCPMA Instruments, Strings. Joshua Benedict Nangkil Escalada, DCPMA Instruments, Strings. Hyuna Lee, DCPMA Instruments, Strings. Roy Makatuno Butlay, BM Instruments, Strings. Mark Christian Yamson Echago, DCPMA Instruments, Strings, mid-year 2019, and BM Instruments, Strings, second semester 2019-2020. Joseph Emmanuel Vocalan Hernandez, BM Instruments, Strings. Graduating with honors, as of first semester 2019-2020, Dan B.O., BM Instruments, Strings, magna cum laude. As of second semester 2019-2020, Reggie Villa Sango, BM Instruments, Strings, cum laude. Ricardo Juanito Baliedos, BM Instruments, Strings, cum laude.
Mahal naming dekano, ikinararangal kong itanghal sa inyo ang mga nagsisipagtapos mula sa Departamento ng Tinig, Teatro Pangmusika at Sayaw na binubuo ng 21 sa programang Diploma in Creative Performance and Musical Arts at Bachelor of Music, kasama ang 2 magna cum laude at 3 cum laude. Batid natin na tayong lahat ay humaharap sa isang malaking pagsubok sa mga panahong ito, dulot ng pandemya ng COVID-19. Huwag mag-alala at mag-alinlangan, malalagpasan natin lahat ito. Sumayaw, umawit, at sumunod sa bagong normal at indak ng panahon. Taimtim na manalangin at salubungin ang hinaharap ng may buong tapang, malaking pag-asa at magandang simulain tungo sa inyong mga pangarap. Sa ngalan ng inyong mga guro, binabati ko kayong lahat na mga nagsisipagtapos.
As of first semester 2019-2020, Angelica Rose Martin Benipayo, DCPMA, Voice. Nika Dorothea Cañete Tupas, DCPMA, Voice. Joel Swazon Alinsunuri, BM, Voice. As of second semester 2019-2020, Isabel Enrica Nuki Eugenio, DCPMA, Dance. Eliza Ariane Minchu Laiko, DCPMA, Dance. Luis Nightingale Tablante Meneses, DCPMA, Dance. Maria Criselda Hernandez Quizon, BM, Dance. Gerald Bendon Magat, DCPMA Dance, first semester 2019-2020, and BM Dance, second semester 2019-2020. Rodney Eric Degras Abuel, DCPMA, Voice. Kevin Scott Abarquez Almario, DCPMA, Voice. Miriam Donato Reyes, DCPMA, Voice. Joy Elise Castillo Bactag, BM, Voice. Maria Rovelyn Mateo Bautista, BM Voice. Joey Mark Yuste Panizal, BM Voice. As of mid-year 2019, Joshua Fernandez Cadiluña, BM Voice Cum Laude. As of first semester 2019-2020, Jose Gabriel Luque Eugenio, BM Dance Magna Cum Laude. As of second semester 2019-2020, Carl Arnold Samson Saret, BM Voice Cum Laude. Eloisa Jessa Garcia Tangali, DCPMA Dance, first semester 2019-2020, and BM Dance, second semester 2019-2020, Cum Laude. Jeconia Pamanian Retulia, BM Voice, Magna Cum Laude.
Mahal naming dekano, ikinararangal ko itanghal sa inyo ang mga nagsisipagtapos mula sa Departamento ng Winds and Percussion na binubuo ng 13 graduates sa programang CM, DCPMA, BM, kasama ang isang cum laude. Ladies and gentlemen, let the trumpets sound, or rather, the horns for the graduates of 2020.
As of first semester 2019-2020, Eunice Piñon Tejedor, DCPMA Instruments, Winds. Nestor John Fidel Macorol, BM Instruments, Percussion. As of second semester 2019-2020, Wences June Macapagal, Nubit, CM Winds. Jeffrey Thomas Santictores Abuel, DCPMA Instruments, Winds. John Gerald Airoso Calma, DCPMA Instruments, Winds. John Paulo Reyes Ramos, DCPMA Instruments, Winds. Justine Maris Javier San Miguel, DCPMA Instruments, Winds. John Philip Medina Timbang, DCPMA Instruments, Winds. Lawrence Rocha Valenzuela, DCPMA Instruments, Percussion. Alexis Mangaring Constantino, BM Instruments, Percussion. Chris Joel Gan Mangulabnan, BM Instruments, Winds. Mark Kennedy Fortunado Rocas, BM Instruments, Winds.
Aubrey Morales Sakop, BM Instruments, Winds, Cum Laude.
Mahal naming dekano, ikinararangal kong itanghal sa inyo ang mga nagsisipagtapos mula sa graduate programs in music na binubuo ng 3 Master of Music, isa sa choral conducting at 2 sa music education at 2 Doctor of Philosophy in Music. Bukod ang hanga ko sa talino, sipag at lakas ng loob ng mga graduates na ito na harapin at tapusin ang mga program requirements sa panahon ng pandemic lockdown. Hindi lamang sila nag-submit ng thesis at dissertation na pang-comply lamang, pero naisulat nila ang mga orihinal, magaganda at mahahaba na thesis at dissertation na mas mataas ang quality kaysa gawa ng mga graduate students sa ibang bansa. Mabuhay po tayong lahat.
As of first semester 2019-2020, Alexander John Livioco Villanueva, Master of Music, Composition. Thesis title, Maria E. Marta, a Chamber Opera. As of second semester 2019-2020, Ana Patricia Bora Rodriguez Carranza, Master of Music, Music Education. Thesis title, 100 Years in Retrospect, Articulations of Philippine Identity in the Undergraduate Programs of the UP College of Music from 1916 to 2016. Joanna Cristina Santos Tan, Master of Music, Music Education. Thesis title, Shaping Filipino Pianists on the Piano Pedagogy of Mauricio D. Borromeo. Ernesto Cabactulan Zaldua Jr., Master of Music, Choral Conducting. As of first semester 2019-2020, Crisanti Lucena Macaso, Doctor of Philosophy in Music. Dissertation title, Music and Image, the soundtrack of Manuel Conde's extant films from 1941 to 1958. As of second semester 2019-2020, Lara Katrina Tajonera Mendoza, Doctor of Philosophy in Music. Dissertation title, Pag-aambag sa Eksena at Kultura, Making a Contribution to the Scene and Culture, the Meaning of Contemporary Hip-Hop Performance Among Youths in Manila, Philippines.
Magandang araw. Taon-taon ang tanggapan ng dekano ng Kolehiyo ng Musika ay nagbibigay pugay sa mga natatanging graduado na nagpakita ng makabuluhang mga gawaing artistiko, serbisyo, pananaliksik at antas pang-akademiko. Ang apat na pagkilala ay ang mga sumusunod. Ang gawad dekano para sa natatanging pagtatanghal o pagkatha, ang gawad dekano para sa natatanging pamumuno o serbisyo, ang gawad dekano para sa natatanging pananaliksik, at ang gawad dekano para sa kahusayang pang-akademiko. Tuwing umaga, ang una niyong maririnig na musika sa bulwagang Abelardo ay magmumula sa isang sulok kung saan makikita niyo nag-iensayo si Binibining Alexis Constantino. Si Alexis ay bahagi ng Masako, isang grupo ng mga perkasyonistang nagtamo ng pinakamataas na gantimpala sa nakaraang National Music Competitions for Young Artists. Noong taong 2018 at taong 2019, si Alexis din ay naging pangunahing perkasyonista ng Asian Youth Orchestra na nagtanghal sa iba't ibang bahagi ng Asia. Siya rin ay perkasyonista ng Metro Manila Concert Orchestra at naging bahagi din ng ABS-CBN Philharmonic Orchestra. Ang gawad dekano para sa natatanging pagtatanghal o pagkatha ay inihahandog natin ngayong taong ito kay Binibining Alexis Constantino. Ikinalulugod kong ipakilala sa inyo ang tatanggap ng gawad dekano para sa pananaliksik para sa taong ito, si Ginoong James Gasmin, para sa kanyang sinulat na Banda ng Musika, pagsusuri sa musika at ambag panlipunan ng Eraserheads. Bilang pinakahuling rekisito para sa kanyang pagtamo ng Bachelor ng Musika sa Musicology, inaral niya ang kasaysayan ng bandang Eraserheads at ipinakita niya kung gaano sila kahalaga sa paghulma ng kakaibang kultura ng pagbabanda sa Pilipinas noong dekada 90 hanggang sa mga unang taon ng ika-21 siglo. Malaki ang ambag ng kanyang akda sa mga araling popular na musika at ang kamangha-mangha pa ay ang kanyang diwa na hindi nagpatinag sa kahirapang dulot ng pandemyang ating nararanasan ngayon. Bigyan natin ng pugay ang tatanggap ng gawad dekano para sa pananaliksik, si Ginoong James Gasmin. Sinong hindi nakakilala kay RJ o kay Ginoong Ricardo Juanito Balyedos? Bilang tagapamuno ng konseho ng mga mag-aaral sa Kolehiyo ng Musika, nagbigay si RJ ng panahon, pawis at walang kapagurang serbisyo sa mga pangangailangan ng mag-aaral ng kolehiyo. Itong mga huling buwan ay nag-organisa siya ng mga serye na pagtatanghal na tinaguriang Musika Akbay, Musika at Bayanihan, na nangilap ng pondo para sa mga pangangailangan ng mga mag-aaral, lalo ngayong panahon ng lockdown. Ngunit sa kabila ng lahat ng iyan, si RJ ay patuloy na nagpapakadalubhasa sa kanyang napiling propesyon, ang pagiging gitarista. At nakikita to sa pakikibahagi niya sa Manila Guitar Festival, lalo nung panahong 2018 at 2019. Katuwang din si RJ na tagapagturo sa proyektong Gitara at Awit na nagtuturo para sa mga manggagawa ng UP Diliman. Ang gawa dekano para sa natatanging pamumuno o serbisyo ay inihahandog natin ngayon kay Ginoong Ricardo Juanito Balyedos. Kakaiba nga ang taong itong nakaraan. Hindi lang dahil siguro sa pandemya, kundi sa taong ito, nagkaroon tayo ng 2 mag-aaral na summa cum laude. Ang una ay si Paulo Miguel Tobias Tablante, Bachelor of Music sa piano, summa cum laude, na may average na 1.141. At ang ikalawa ay si Ginoong Jose Antonio Centenera Buencamino, Bachelor of Music sa Composition, summa cum laude, na nagkamit ng average ng 1.098, na marahil ay pinakamataas na average na nakamit ng isang mag-aaral ng kolehiyo ng musika. Kapwa sila tatanggap ng gawad dekano para sa kahusayang pang-akademiko.
So, bakit ko pinili yung music bilang course sa kolehiyo? Dito na umikot yung mundo ko since high school. So, gusto ko siyang mas mapalawig pa yung matutunan ko sa music. So, yun yung tinake kong course. Experience ko sa loob university, magbabago talaga buhay mo sa lahat ng aspeto. Music man, critical thinking, yung pakikisama sa masa. Pangarap kong gawin pagkatapos ng graduation, maghanap ng trabaho kasi kailangan ng support sa sarili. So yun, ako si James Dan Sigasmin, UP CMU Class of 2020, BM Musicology, student number 2014-89063, sasalubungin ng Bukas bilang scholar at musiko ng bayan.
Bakit ko pinili ang music bilang kurso sa kolehiyo? Bata pa lang kasi ako, mahilig na ako sa music. At dahil na rin siguro sa kultura ng aming bayan, ang Rizal, which is yung art capital of the Philippines. At dahil na rin sa impluwensya ng aking kuya na graduate ng UP College of Music. Larawan ng experience sa loob ng universidad, gamit ang isang salita. Siguro gulong. Kasi maraming binigay na ups and downs ang UP sa akin na tumulong sa paghubog ng pagkatao ko ngayon. At hindi rin naman nawala yung paggabay ng UP sa pagsabay namin sa ikot ng gulong na ito. Ano ang iyong mga pangarap, planong gawin pagkatapos ng graduation? Makapag-aral pa sa ibang bansa. Kung hindi, makatugtog ng iba't ibang klaseng musika sa loob at labas ng bansa. Ako, si Joseph Emmanuel V. Hernandez, UPCMU Class of 2020, Bachelor of Music, Cello Major, 2012-78118, Salubungin ng Bukas bilang scholar at musiko ng bayan.
Mahal kong mga kapwa magsisipagtapos, sabay-sabay nating bigkasin ang opisyal na pagtanggap ng mga magsisipagtapos sa UP College of Music Alumni Association. Taos-puso akong nanunumpa na isa sa katuparan ng buong husay at walang pag-iimbot ang mga tungkuling nakaatang sa akin bilang kasapi ng samahan ng mga nagsisipagtapos sa Universidad ng Pilipinas. Ipagtatanggol ko at ipaglalaban ang kapakanan ng universidad na aking pinagtapusan, ang Universidad ng Pilipinas, at ipinangangako kong magiging matapat na nagtapos sa universidad na ito sa lahat ng pagkakataon.
Hi, I'm Jose. I'm a composition major, so I'll express what I want to say through a song. Joke lang. That's not what I do in compo. You're probably sick of what you're doing there anyway. Greetings, guest speaker Dr. Michael Tan, Dean Vern de la Peña, Professor Joy Guadalupe, family, friends, fellow graduates, whoever's watching this. Maraming salamat kina Ma'am Angel, sa prod team, at sa lahat pang nagbuhos ng pawis at tugo para sa programang ito. Thanks. Maraming salamat din sa ating Student Council na pinamumunuan ni RJ Balyedos at sa kanyang pangugulit tungkol sa mga requirements at paghahanap ng mga volunteers para sa graduation program natin. Thank you to our professors, our family, our friends, our sponsors, all who have gotten us to where we are now. This graduation is also for you. This may not be the graduation we had imagined, but it will definitely be one that's remembered and very well documented. Sayang kung walang graduation ceremony. Ang dami nangyari, especially in the 4, 5, 10 past years. Sa mga sumasampung taon mahigit dyan, you are not forgotten. Many of these things were really huge. We saw the birth of the Jose Macedo Hall, as well as the start of the ongoing labor of the Sana Hall in the former parking lot. We saw the centennial of our college. That's crazy. 100 years. Also, tinanggal na yung piano dun sa lobby. So long and farewell sa walang katapusang training on unprepared piano habang kumakain. Naka-desktop na si Ate Merla. Pwedeng na mag-solitaire habang naghihintay ng pyesa. Sorry na lang sa mga taga-mascom na naghihintay para mag-prepare. Pre-2020, already so many changes. Some, though, not so welcome. In the past 5 years alone, nasunog ang Duckpin Bowling Alley, yung Kasaa, yung FC, at yung SC. We've had some really divisive issues come up too these past few years. Freshy show. But we ended up having important conversations about bullying, mental well-being, and resilience as we all continued to try to make the College of Music a better space for the already rigorous process of self-improvement in our commitment to our study, to our craft. It's important now to think about the little things we did day to day. Often, they're the most memorable. Scouring the college for a room with a piano and removing a freshie from there by sheer intimidation. Staying in until the 8 p.m. bell rings and pleading with Mom Toto. Kasi ngayon lang talaga kayo makaka-rehearse. Being taken last minute to play the music of yet another compo major as well as whoever you were with at the time. Dancing, reliving, realizing age-old expressions of joy, pain, and sorrow together with other musicians with a fresh, unified breath. These are often the sweetest moments, along with Sir Chino's caution reminder, kahit anong kulay, basta black. In fact, I was really looking forward to rehearsing for the orchestral recital I was going to have, forming new memories, making new music, getting to know more of these people from my college in a way that only communal music making can, was one of the things I was most excited about this year. as I'm sure it was also for most of the second semester cyclists. We all miss our friends, and it can be scary to think of how long we'll have to wait before we can do these things again. It's normal to feel a bit lost when, after imagining and preparing for more than 4 years for a life after graduation, you finally graduate, and that spot you imagined yourself to be in the world may not be there anymore. But in these uncertain times of the COVID-19 pandemic, we are granted this opportunity in the form of an online graduation program to take a step back and look at the things so set in stone as the things we have already done, as well as the family, friends, and communities that have helped us do them. We are reminded to stop and to look at the people we have become in order to remind ourselves of what we can do and where we can go next. We musicians from the UP College of Music are equipped not only with the knowledge and practice of understanding and making beautiful music, but also with the responsibility of the knowledge of who we're making music for. We have a gift to connect with other people in a very special way, through experience, through personhood, through creation, through art. And through all the late night rehearsals, panel exams, and recitals, you will see that we are people who are tough, who rise above circumstances, and who know how to deal with change. My fellow graduates, if you're looking for a space to be, nothing is as sure as the space as the need for compassion, especially today. Should you struggle to find any meaning, remember that if you touch a single person with joy, reach to a person through his pain, or share in his sorrow to make things not seem so bad, then the world has already become a better place for you having been in it. But do not forget either, bilang mga musiko at musika ng bayan, we have the responsibility to tear down the obstacles to truth, freedom, and the common good for our people, wherever they exist. Now is the time to go and find yourselves these new spaces for love, for growth, for making new music, in spaces better than you could ever find in AHA 7.
Naririnig mo ba ang hikbi ng sambayanan? Tila ba inaagawan ng kalayaan? Naririnig mo ba ang sigaw ng kabataan laban sa mga abuso sa kapangyarihan? Ano magagawa natin nang mapigilan ang dilim? Tayo ang magsisilbing himig ng bansa natin, lingkod ng siling, lingkod ng banda. Pag-asa ng bayan, bagong kasaysayan, lingkod ng siling, lingkod ng banda. Artista ng bayan, tayo ay lalaban. Musika ang sandigan ng puso at isipan, paraan upang mamulat sa katotohanan. Katarungan, kalayaan, hustisya sa taong bayan. Ito ang tinig ng Pilipino, nais mapakinggan, lingkod ng sining, lingkod ng banda. Pag-asa Sama tayong lalaban, Iskolar ng bayan, lingkod ng sining, lingkod ng banla. Alasan ng bayan, bagong kasaysayan, lingkod ng sining, lingkod ng banla. Artista ng bayan, tayo'y lumalaban.
Pinili ko ang music dahil una pa lang alam ko na ito yung gusto kong gawin sa habang buhay. Sinabi ko nga sa sarili ko noon na hindi ko kaya makita yung sarili ko sa ibang profesyon bukod sa music. So, kung may lalarawan ko nga yung buhay ko sa university, ito ay gamit ang salitang phenomenal dahil sa dami ng kakaiba, kagilag kilalas na karanasan ko sa university. Sobrang daming tinuro sa akin ng university, kung kaya naman masabi ko na talaga napakalaking bahagi nito ng aking buhay. I am who I am because of UP. Kung kaya naman pagkatapos ng graduation ay umaasam ako na may sa buhay ko ang motto ng UP sa pamamagitan ng pagiging isang honorable public servant, excellent musician and educator, at compassionate leader and citizen of the country. Ako si Ricardo Juanito Baliedos, UPCMU Class of 2020, Bachelor of Music in Guitar Performance, student number 2015-02926. Sasalubungin ng bukas bilang scholar at musiko ng bayan.